As the Public Health, Safety, and Transportation Committee Clerk, Kathy McCabe, I would like to call the PHST Committee meeting for July 25th, 2023 to order. The time is now 4 p.m. The first order of business is to elect a temporary chair. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to name Alderman Garza as the temporary chair of the Public Health and Safety.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Lonnie Garza is the temporary chair for PHST.
Thank you very much. All right, well, we have to start as 4 o'clock p.m. And you have to make a call to order.
Vice Chair Bill Donnell, Alderman John Lash,
Present.
Alderman Ted Miziakos,
Present.
Alderwoman Lonnie Garza,
Present?
3 present.
Okay. So we have public comments.
Yes, we do. Samantha Bamberge. Oh, sorry.
Hi, I was here last month. I made the mistake of not reading my statement directly as written, and it became obvious to many of you didn't have the context of what I was speaking about. So I returned to actually read what I had written. Most of you had not attended any of the community safety meetings that I was speaking about, that there's a specific corridor of Eola Road from Montgomery to New York Street where we've seen multiple tragic deaths, several injuries, and some pretty horrifying near misses. This is a very unsafe environment for our families living adjacent to and should be addressed. There's just overcrowding on the street, a lot of it due to lack of pedestrian and cycling infrastructure. The children are unable to efficiently get to the high school, middle school that are at Ogden and Neola and are forced to be driven because they cannot drive and they cannot walk to these areas or bike. So this cascades into the schools needing to adjust their late policies, applying pressure to parents who then have to make the dangerous decision of stopping traffic to usher these children jaywalking across to get them to school on time. Watching these children try to walk home is just as frightening as they're often unaccompanied, having to climb retaining walls and jaywalk through these very unsafe areas, including a state highway. I know the city had started a study in this area on how to improve Eola, but I was in attendance to that May 24th traffic listening session, and it became obvious to all of us that the engineering firm hired is just there to address the scope of their concerns and not broaden that scope. So their focus is safer accidents, not actually providing any walking or cycling access. Aurora needs to kind of move past this driver-first mindset and kind of open up to the rest of us, especially in places like Eola, where there are children, elderly, those with physical hindrances or lesser economic means who'd like to have better access to their community center, the library, and some of the wonderful businesses that are in that area in addition to their schools. So we need to have a more economically resilient community, and it starts by letting us move around safely and efficiently. So if we could please look into expanding the study along that road to start including pedestrian and cycling safety and efficiency is something I would love to see on one of the upcoming agendas. Thank you.
Thank you. No other speaker?
No, we do not.
Okay. So we don't have minutes to approve. Can you please read the first item in the agenda?
230532, a resolution authorizing the continued services of civilian fingerprint analysts Julie Smith and Gina Minetti as contractual consultants for the purpose of fingerprint analysis and identification for the Aurora Police Department.
Good afternoon, committee. Lieutenant Bill Rowley with the Aurora Police Department. I'm the Administrative Services Lieutenant. I'm here for Commander Stemmet, who was called away. I'm here before you to seek approval to rehire certified fingerprint analysts Julie Smith and Gina Minetti as contractual consultants for the purpose of fingerprint analysis and identification at the Aurora Police Department. These two fingerprint analysis consultants have been working for the Aurora Police Department since 2010, and they're hired at a rate of $100 per hour, respectively, for a maximum annual rate of $60,000 each. I'll give you some history here. Uh, They were hired from December of 2010 to the present day. They've been assigned approximately 1,950 cases, and they've examined approximately 7,100 fingerprint lifts, and were able to make over 1,750 identifications of people during this time. Also, we note that, but for their help, we would have to utilize the services of the Illinois State Crime Lab in Joliet, which typically gives us several months to a year turnaround time when we lift fingerprints on crimes. Some of these fingerprints, we've been able to get turnaround time in a matter of hours, which of course gives us a much quicker response to the victims in our city who've suffered crimes, and it gives us a faster turnaround time for prosecution. Many of times, prosecution and charges have been authorized based on fingerprint analysis, at least to get the ball rolling. Sometimes aids in convictions. So continued use of these two fingerprint analysis would be greatly beneficial to the Aurora Police Department. I have copies of their service agreements, if anybody has any questions for that.
Questions, comments? Yes?
I read the detailed report and so forth, and I'm going to vote for it, but I'm just curious, what other options have we explored, and do we have other people that work in that fingerprint lab, just as the new guy trying to learn a little bit more?
Sure. That's a good question. So we do have police officers who are trained at lifting fingerprints from crime scenes, but the analysis portion of that is a fairly involved process. These are essentially forensic scientists, which is beyond the scope of your typical, even a trained evidence technician police officer. So to dedicate that type of resource to a police officer would be a different utilization of services. ETs, evidence technicians, we use them for a wide variety of tasks, including the collection of evidence, photographs, going to autopsies, being able to testify in court to things that they photograph and see and collect on scene, whereas fingerprint analysis specialists, they have a very narrow focus and they're highly trained on that one very critical but very specific thing. Also, these two folks, as you probably read, they verify each other's work, which is a necessity for court purposes. So to have this very specific speciality is very important that we have it in this case. Also, unlike an evidence technician who's a full-time police officer as well, and that falls along the lines of the salary and benefits and things that go along with a full-time police officer, these are contracted employees, and we only call them in when we need them. If we don't need fingerprint analysis, we don't need to call them, and the city doesn't have to spend the money. So the only other option of that to this is to go back to the Joliet Crime Lab, which is the thing we are trying to avoid by hiring them.
And they're I-9 employees?
I'm sorry?
I-9 employees.
Yes, they are.
Thanks. I don't have any more.
Other questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
A motion approved by Alderman Ted Misiacos. Second, Alderman John Latch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 3-0. Thank you very much. Next item, Kathy.
230550, a resolution establishing the maximum number of Class B on-site consumption liquor licenses unofficially related to the application from I'm not
Which
sure.
one?
Daydon Memo, number 2, Inc. at 815 North Lake Street, Ward 6.
Jennifer Stalling, City Clerk. I'm here with the owner and the manager of the restaurant who are here to answer any questions that you might have. But just a few highlights of this application. They did have to go through the distance reduction hearing. They are right next door to residential, some apartments, and the administrative hearing officer did approve that. So the distance required between the liquor license establishment and residential has been reduced to allow them to have a liquor license. Second step was they struggled a bit in the beginning, I think, with parking. In addition to some other things, and they've worked very hard to submit a complete application for you today. The parking issue is that their building's very small, and believe it or not, back when they first started the application process, they would have had to have had 75 seats in the restaurant in order to have alcohol. Now, they have to have 60. So that was very beneficial for them in the respect, especially that it also reduces the parking requirement. So we generally require one parking space for every 3 people who are allowed in the restaurant, and they now meet that, the parking requirement and the seating requirement. So they are here if you have any questions for them. Yes. And Vanessa, right?
Yes.
And Noe, yes.
Noe is the owner?
Noé Vázquez, sí.
Yeah. Who's Carla?
Yo soy Carla. I'm
Tú eres Carla, okay. So you are the manager?
I'm the business manager. I run the business.
Okay. So you are there since the first day they opened El Huichol?
Yes, I've been there since 2017. We opened in December. It's almost going to be 8 years in business. The reason we moved here, we have our first location in Joliet. It's where all the business started. After that, we were having a lot of people coming from the Aurora city to Joliet requesting our businesses here. And we decided to open one here. That was 2017. It's been great. We love our customers. We love the city. It's giving us so much to a point where we were able to open a third location. But unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we had to close. So now it's only Joliet, the Joliet location and the one here in Aurora. We've been fighting a lot to get to this point. I'm very proud to be given the opportunity to be here. We done some remodeling to the restaurant. My dad was able to purchase the location and he moved forward with the remodelation on the parking lot, the inside and the outside of the business place. Also now we've been struggling a lot with keeping our employees and our customers because there has been new locations that have been open around us, and it's making us, right now, it's been really hard for us to stay in business. We're struggling with hours as well. And we would like to see if we get the opportunity to be granted with the liquor license. Just, we're not planning on doing anything, besides our hours that we have. We're staying with the hour regulation. Also, I took a class for the consumption of alcohol and have that regulated myself. And we have cameras on the establishment. We have, our business hours are from 10 to 8, 9. Now, sometimes 10, and it depends really how the business is going. But since it's all family that runs our business, it's,
Yeah.
it's,
The food is delicious, and now with some liquor, I think it's going to be better with a little beer or
Yes,
margarita
thank
or
you.
something, going to be delicious. So, some comments? Yes?
Can you really tell us a little bit, you have the microphone here on public comment, tell us about your menu?
yes. So our menu, yes, our
supper time
food
is coming up.
specialized, it's all seafood. We have run a very authentic recipe from my father, who is from Nayarit, Mexico. We run it's all seafood, strictly seafood, ceviche, the red snapper, the tilapia, the 7 sea soups, crab legs, prawns, empanadas. We also serve mussels, and I don't want to brag, but the food, it's really, the
Yeah, it
food
is.
is delicious. It's very authentic. It's something that you don't find here in the city of Aurora or in some other nearby places. It's really authentic. You could taste the difference. We serve fresh seafood. It's really, really good.
More questions?
I'll invite you guys to try it one day, hopefully.
Maybe we'll order lunch from there.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing your business to Aurora. Just a
you.
quick question for the clerk. During the distance reduction hearing, were there any residents that expressed opposition? And I think I heard you guys say you're not going to extend the hours beyond 8 PM with the new liquor license, but just to get a summary of what happened at that meeting?
Sure, I was not at that particular meeting, so I do not know, but to the best of my knowledge, there was no one who actually came in and opposed the liquor license.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, there were no oppositions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alderman John Lash, second Alderman Ted Masiacos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion pass, 3-0. Thank you very much and good luck. Y nos vemos pronto.
Claro, la esperamos, gracias.
Next item.
230569, a resolution approving a revenue sharing agreement between the City of Aurora Fire Prevention Bureau and Inspection Reports Online, IROL.
Good afternoon. Christopher Teams, Fire Marshal here for the Aurora Fire Department, assigned to the Fire Prevention Bureau. Just here to answer any questions you guys may have in regards to IROL. Give you a little background. We've been using IROL for all of our fire alarm, fire sprinklers. Any businesses that have these type of systems in their buildings must be tested annually. Those reports have to be sent in online through a third-party company. They're the ones that kind of maintain it for us. They keep the records for us, send out notices for any deficiencies. A couple years ago, IROL started a revenue sharing program. It's nothing that costs the businesses here in Aurora any more money than that they're already paying through the contractors. It's built into their contractor's price. Contractors usually charge anywhere from $25 to $50 to submit the reports as their submittal fee. IROL will only turn around and charge usually $19.99 for that. IROL's now started a revenue sharing program where we are allowed to set our revenue share if we want, and we came up with the idea to set the revenue share at $5 per inspection that gets submitted. Again, it's nothing that comes out of the pocket of the business owners other than what they're already paying to their service providers. So that's what we're trying to bring to you today.
Comments, questions?
I guess I was a little confused in the presentation, probably because I'm not familiar with the whole apparatus. But what is where's the $5 coming from, and how many of these do we go through per year?
So we don't charge, IROL charges their online fee gets charged to the contractor. The contractor then turns around and charges that obviously to the business owners when it's built into their contract of doing their system testing and maintenance. So that $25 to $50 is already built into their contract. That contractor will then turn around and submit their fee to IROL at whatever IROL's fee is set for that municipality. For us right now, it's set at $19.99 is what our fee is. With the $5 share per inspection, which we're looking at about $200 or 200 inspections per month at $5 a piece, that would come back to the city.
More questions, comments?
So moved.
Ted? You still thinking?
I was like Alderman Lash. I mean, I was a little confused as well with this. I'm having a hard time understanding how the end user doesn't cost anything to the end user, because right now I'm trying to understand how I'm a little confused by that, because I'm looking at the whole structure. Ultimately, a service being provided to a business person, the person is paying for it.
So how they doing before this?
Nobody does anything for free. They pass on.
So it's built into their contract already?
For now.
So if they
have a present contract.
Not with us, with their service contractor,
Right, okay.
correct?
Okay,
So-
so if they have a present contract right now, this fee automatically increases for the service provider, but not to the business person until they renew their contract.
It won't even go to that end user because they're charging anywhere between that $25 and $50 already. So if they don't turn around and send that money to a municipality or IROL, then they're pocketing that money, is basically what the service provider does.
And
So
what do other municipalities around us charge?
everybody's using iRoll around here.
But what do they charge around?
Uh,
what municipalities charge?
They're anywhere from $20 to $45. I think we're pretty comparable right now to what Nashville's doing. Nashville is,
Municipality-wise, not by the business provider, or the service provider, municipal charges.
Other municipalities, they charging the amount around the
What rates
same?
have they set? How's that?
what rates have who set?
Other municipalities around us. So we're talking about setting a rate, correct?
Correct, we're setting our rate at, it would be a total submission fee of $27.99.
So what do other municipalities around us?
They are, again, anywhere between the $21.99 and $45.99.
So we're probably the cheapest in the area by about $1.99. Is that what you're saying? Or dollar by dollar?
This is only because we're doing a revenue share with them. We're $19.99 submittal fee right now is just right off the bat. That's what they have to pay to the city or to iRoll to upload their reports.
All right, maybe a phone call after this. Just to get a better grasp of it, I do trust that, we're going in the right direction. Just, I always believe that, whatever increase is in anything, it always goes back down to the consumer, the end users, A little thrown off by that, but anyway. Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Alderman Ted Masiacos, second Alderman John Lash. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed, 3-0. Thank you very much. Next item,
230535, charitable solicitation application for Knights of Columbus Council 4849 Tootsie Roll Drive on September 8th and 9th, 2023.
My name is Ray Froelich. I'm the treasurer of the Knights of Columbus with Holy Angels, Council 4849. We conduct an annual fundraiser for children with disabilities. We've been doing it for more than 10 years. Probably about 10 years ago, we started requesting a permit to work intersections because the stores in the community are more and more reluctant to let us stand out in front of them. Walmart has locked us out. Jewel has locked us out. Woodman's and Prisco's still let us work their stores. So we see that if we don't continue to work the intersections, there'll be a serious impact on what we donate to various charitable organizations. All the money stays right here in the Aurora area. Things like Fox Valley Special Rec, Little Friends, Gigi's Playhouse. There's 5 or 6 different charities that we donate all the money to. So that's what I'm looking for today, approval on this permit so we can work these intersections.
questions, comments? Yes?
I think this is a boilerplate type of a resolution that's before us already, I think is approved, but in spirit of our past chairperson, Shakita Hart Burns, I'd like to make a motion to affirm support in support of this effort.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Ted Masiacos, second Alderman John Lesh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
230536, charitable solicitation application for Three Fires Council, Boy Scouts of America's annual popcorn sale from August 15th through November 1st, 2023.
Nobody here? And, oh,
No, nobody's here for that, huh? Okay,
motion.
that's interesting.
Well, like Alderman Chiquita said, we need some samples.
So moved.
Yeah,
Motion by John Lesh.
I'll second.
Second Alderman Ted Masiacos. All in favor say aye. Motion passed, 3-0. Thank you very much. Okay, no other item to discuss in this meeting?
Can I just
Yes.
ask staff to, and ask them, if the city makes a suggestion, a recommendation to these non-for-profits to come and speak to us about their programs, so maybe we can get better, more acquainted, especially for our newer council members? Like, for example, somebody from the Three Fires Council, Boy Scouts.
Sure. Are you looking for a general presentation or just specifically related to this permit?
Just in general, in the future, I mean, just, do we make a suggestion, as a citywide, make a suggestion to show up for these items?
Sure, sure. We'll work with the alderman's office. They process the permits, but we'll communicate and see if we can get a representative at the meeting.
Yeah, especially for the new aldermans, so they
Sure.
don't, not too familiar with these organizations, so I think it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. It used to always happen when it had to go through an approval process through the committee.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
seems something's, it's not being consistent, it's not a consistent process at this point of people coming in to speak with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, no other item to speak in this, no other item additional in this agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by John Last, second Alderman Tennis Eccles, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, adjourn the meeting at 4:26. Thank you very much.